That won't fall. Wilson, what looks like over the back. Well,
oh boy.
Jump ball is the call.
Wow. Stephanie White's upset about that. I thought that was over the back. Wow. Watch this. That's a jump ball?
This wasn't just a missed call. It was the moment the whole WNBA finally snapped. That play was called a jump ball. The official report says it was 50-50. But here's what everyone actually saw. Lexie Hull made a clean and perfect box out. Aya Wilson went over Lexie's back to take the ball. The TV commentators were shocked. The coaches looked truly upset. Thousands of fans watched and felt like their doubts were finally proven right. This wasn't just a small mistake. It was the moment when a much bigger issue finally exploded. Players and coaches have been quietly talking for months about unfair refereeing. Now, since this video clip went viral, the secret is out. The players aren't staying quiet anymore. Their anger on the floor, and the frustration from coaches, shows that the league has lost control of its referees. Today we're going to show how this one play started a wave of pushback. Using the league's own data, we'll explain how serious the issue is, and why the WNBA now faces a major trust problem it can't ignore. We're digging into the story that the league wishes everyone would forget. So if you're done with excuses, and just want the honest truth, hit that like button to show you're with us. Your support helps us keep moving, and bring you the facts that really matter. Now, let's go over the play. That shocked everyone online, and kicked off this entire firestorm.
A big win for the Fever because the Aces were the only team that they had not won at least one game to last season, meaning the Aces swept the Fever last season. They actually haven't won they actually haven't won a game against the Aces in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark. This team is crazy. They are beating the #1 team in the league first. And then they go and beat the Aces, who they haven't won to in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark, which is just a testament to how this team is finally...
That was the game expert, trying to figure out what just happened, even while watching it live. The play looked easy. It's something you learn on your very first day of basketball. If you want to grab a rebound, you have to get into the right spot first. You use your body to stay between your opponent and the basket. That space becomes yours. Lexie Hull did everything correctly. She held her position, boxed out Aya Wilson, and went for the ball the right way. But Aya Wilson didn't do it right. She didn't try to fight for position. She just reached over Lexie's back, touched her, and made it harder for Lexie to get the rebound. In any game, high school, college, or professional, that's called over the back. It should have been Indiana's ball. Simple as that. But that's not what the referees did. They blew the whistle and said it was a jump ball. That decision was so strange, so clearly wrong based on the rules, that people stopped and said, "Wait, what just happened?" This wasn't a tight or tricky play. It wasn't something that could go either way. It was clearly a foul, and the officials missed it. It was a clear foul, but the referees ignored it. And instead of a penalty, the player who broke the rule actually got rewarded. The ball was given back to Las Vegas. Because of the possession arrow. That one short clip, easy to share, easy to understand, turned into a huge moment. It was the proof fans had been waiting for. People had been talking about bad referees all season. But now it wasn't just a feeling or a wild guess. Now they had actual video proof. And that play? It was just the start. To really understand why fans were so upset, we have to look at more than just one call. Because for many WNBA fans, this wasn't just a random mistake. It was the latest and clearest sign of something much bigger going on. A pattern that fans even gave a name to.
Is playing phenomenal. Oh my God, it's night and day. I think that Commissioner's Cup gave him swag. Now they're swagging it out. I never seen Natasha Howard so aggressive in my life. This girl is beasting now all suddenly. She is beast moding right now. And Timpson, the rookie, getting block shots, getting steals. Aaliyah Boston is just murking, destroying Aja Wilson. I got a Wilson. I got a nickname for A'ja Wilson, guys. You know what it is? Whistle Wilson. Because this lady's always getting whistles. She's the person with the special whistle, guys. Every freaking time. And then she goes to the free throw line. Freaking free throw merchant. I think she's related to SGA. But anyway, she's not.
And you know what? He wasn't wrong. It really did feel like the referees were trying to help the Aces stay in the game by calling more fouls in their favor. Even the calm and serious experts on TV couldn't ignore what was happening. They said it clearly. Superstar players sometimes get treated by a different set of rules.
Whistle Wilson. My God, you see how many free throws that lady have? Oh my God, on the stat sheet, she had basically 30 points, but all the free throws this woman got, man, they tried their best to keep the Aces in the game, man, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. They destroyed the Aces. About freaking time the Fever finally beats the Aces, man. And without...
People always say, superstars get the whistle. Like it's just normal. Like it's how things have always been. But that thinking? That's part of the problem. Because when fans start to believe that the biggest names are getting special treatment from the refs, they stop trusting the game. That one missed call, when A'ja Wilson went over Lexie Hull's back and didn't get a foul. It wasn't just a small mistake. It was a turning point. It made fans feel like the game wasn't being decided by the players' hard work, but by unfair whistles. So let me ask you, do you believe this special whistle is real? Drop your answer in the comments. I really want to know where you all stand. But here's the wild part. It wasn't just fans who were angry. Both head coaches, yes, both, agreed the officiating was out of control. And that's when it stopped being a simple bad call and turned into a full-blown crisis for the league. This wasn't just the Indiana Fever calling it out. Even the Las Vegas Aces, the team that benefited from the strange jump ball call, the team that got most of the free throws, they were furious too. Even their coach, Becky Hammon, couldn't hold back. I was frustrated after the game. But I wasn't alone. And neither was Becky Hammon. She didn't blame her players. She blamed the referees. In her post-game press conference, Becky said, "I thought they were grabbing and holding us. It felt like a rugby match. And my team doesn't want to play rugby. So we got beat." That's what she said. Plain and simple. Even the team that got the good calls thought the game was a mess. That's when you know something is seriously wrong. Think about it. The coach of the defending champions, the team whose star player got every call, stood in front of cameras and told the world, the refs let the game turn into a rugby match. Let that sink in. Even the coach who benefited from the officiating thought the referees had completely lost control. At that point, this wasn't just about bias anymore. It was about something much bigger. It was about a league losing control of its own game. And while Coach Becky Hammon was furious about the grabbing and the chaos, on the other sideline, Indiana Fever's head coach, Stephanie White, was quietly reaching her breaking point too. With just over 5 minutes left in the game, and her team up by more than 20 points, Coach White had seen enough. She decided it was time to send a message.
She got a favorable whistle in the second half, but it is what it is. Superstars get the whistle. Unless your name is, 29 points for A'ja Wilson, 3 boards, 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers, 9 for 18 from the field goal, from the field, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Look at the rest of her team. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. Dana Evans, 1 for 10.
The coach, as the commentator said, lost her cool and got a technical foul. But let's be real. This wasn't just a coach losing her temper in a close game. This was intentional. This was a message. A respected head coach, just minutes away from a huge victory, chose to take a stand. She was telling the referees and the league, this isn't okay. This isn't basketball. This isn't fair. And then look at Caitlin Clark. She didn't sit quietly. She jumped to her feet. She smiled. She high-fived her teammates. That single reaction told you everything you needed to know. This wasn't one coach frustrated. This was a team-wide message. From the head coach to the franchise player. They were all on the same page. They had had enough. So when two opposing coaches, in the same game, both show they don't trust the referees, it's not just an argument anymore. It's not just a bad call. It becomes a fact everyone can see. The officials failed. And everyone in the building knew it. But here's the thing. This wasn't the first time. July 3rd wasn't some random bad night. It was the result of something much bigger. A whole season's worth of frustration that had been simmering quietly behind the scenes finally exploded under the national spotlight. Because for weeks, players and coaches had been quietly saying the same things. That the officiating is inconsistent. That referees aren't controlling the physical play. And that it's only getting worse. Remember Becky Hammon's rugby match comment? That's the heart of the problem. This isn't just about missed calls anymore. This is about the league failing to control its own game. They want to protect players from rough, aggressive play. Why? Because all this pushing and hitting hurts the game. It makes it hard for teams to score. And it raises the risk of injury. Players say the league has let the games turn into fights, where one night the rules are strict, and the next night, anything goes. And this isn't a new problem. Indiana's coach, Stephanie White, has been speaking up about this all season. Earlier this year, she was even fined for criticizing the referees in public. So when she got a technical foul in this game, it wasn't random. It was part of her battle. Her campaign to make the league take responsibility. But what made this game different? It wasn't just a regular matchup. It was the two-time defending champions, Las Vegas Aces, versus the most watched team in the league, Indiana Fever. It featured Aya Wilson, Caitlin Clark, and a whole list of WNBA stars. Every camera was there. Every sports show was watching. Every fan had their eyes on this game. And under that spotlight, the referees didn't just make a few mistakes. They completely lost control. That now famous Whistle Wilson play was so obvious, so unfair.
Like I said, the referees were starting to get on the side of the Aces. They were trying to wheel the Aces back in. And Lexie stepped in and sort of killed it. Kelsey Mitchell never took her foot off the gas tonight, by the way. This is the best thing I've seen from Stephanie White all season long. Right here, she was aggravated by the refs already, and in the fourth quarter, 5:35 left, Stephanie White lost her shit on the sideline. She lost her shit. And let me just play this right here. Roll it.
Lost that lead late.
And she you see her.
See on Caitlin
You
Clark.
see her just losing it up here. Losing it.
Wilson misses on
and she got teed up right there.
On the sideline.
And Caitlin Clark.
That it became the perfect symbol of everything that's wrong. It was the one play that changed everything. That turned quiet complaints in the locker room into loud conversations on TV, online, and everywhere. The frustration that had been building for weeks finally exploded. And it did it in a way the league could not delete, could not hide. So how are the players speaking out? That's a fair question. Because they're not always tweeting about it. They're not always giving angry interviews. To really understand what they're saying, you have to watch how they act. You have to pay attention to their body language. You have to look closely to see how much frustration these players are hiding. It starts with Lexie Hull. Look at her during that controversial play. She did everything right. The kind of basketball every coach teaches. She played by the rules. She boxed out the right way. She fought hard but fair. And what did she get for it? She got punished. The referees ignored the foul against her and gave the ball to the other team. That moment, the way she threw her arms up, the look on her face, that was a silent scream. She didn't yell. She didn't curse. But her body said it all. What else can I do? I followed the rules. And you still punished me. Then there's Caitlin Clark. She wasn't even playing in that moment. But you could see the fire in her. She was standing up, coaching, cheering, yelling from the sidelines. She was living every moment. And when Coach Stephanie White finally got that technical foul for standing up to the refs, what did Caitlin do? She jumped up. She smiled. And she high-fived her teammates. That's not just a celebration. That's a clear message. That was Caitlin Clark, the face of the league, the most watched player in the game, telling the world, yes, my coach was right. We're all tired of this. She didn't need to say a word. Her reaction said everything. And many of you watching, you've seen it too. You've been connecting these same dots. On Reddit, on Twitter, on YouTube. And guess what? You were right. You can see it in their faces. The frustrated looks players give the refs. After getting fouled with no call. The way they stop playing harder and rougher. Just to finally get the whistle. The way their shoulders drop. When a call like that, whistle Wilson, jump ball happens. That's not just body language. That's a protest. They're telling the league. We see what's happening. And we're tired of it. If you believe the players' reactions, send a loud, clear message to the league. Hit that like button now. Because all those quiet reactions, from both teams, created a roar louder than words. It became a shared cry. That has now turned into the league's worst nightmare. A credibility crisis they created themselves. For months, players and coaches have been asking for help, saying the referees were doing a bad job. But the league did nothing. They let it grow. And now, the problem has a face. It has a name. It's the A'ja Wilson, Lexie Hull no call. That one viral moment has put the league office under a microscope. This isn't just about an upset game anymore. It's about something much bigger. It's about a broken system. And the story that's now being told online by millions. Players, coaches, and fans have had enough. They've drawn a line in the sand. And now, the league can't stay quiet. If they do, people will take that silence as an admission. An admission that they know the system is broken. But they're too scared or too lazy to fix it. Now the pressure is on. Everyone is watching. Waiting to see if the WNBA will take real action. Will they train the refs better? Will they punish bad calls more strongly? Will they finally change how the whole thing works? Or will they just hope we all forget? So now I ask you, what do you think is the one biggest thing the WNBA should change to fix this referee crisis? Should they make rules stricter? Should they fire bad refs? Or is there something else? So what do you think? Does the WNBA need to completely retrain the referees? Or is it something else? Drop your most detailed answer in the comments. We're reading them all. This story isn't over. The fallout is just beginning. And we'll be following every single update. If you don't want to miss what happens when the league is finally forced to respond, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And if you believe this conversation is important for the future and fairness of women's basketball, share this video with another fan. Because the more people who see this breakdown, the more pressure it puts on the league to stop ignoring the problem and finally start fixing it. Let them know. We're all watching.